Hi, I'm Kim Cornette, and today we're going to show you how to turn on XBus and program the RG16BPX. Alright, so to start, make sure you got the bind plug into the mode on the receiver. Once you got that done, go to binding on the radio, hit bind, and go ahead and plug in your battery and let the receiver bind. Once that's done, you're ready to start programming your servos via XBus. So we're going to program this elevator over here via XBus. You can pretty much plug in the servo to any channel, as on this receiver, all channels are going to be via XBus. So we're going to go to the radio. We're going to pick XBus, go to servo converter. So each servo starts at throttle 01. So we're going to make sure the ID says throttle 01. If the servos are brand new, they're always going to be there. And then you go to ID change. This one happens to be the left elevator. So we're going to pick left elevator, and we're going to keep it at channel 1, as that's the assigned channel and the only servo on the elevator, and we're going to hit set. Once it does that, servo is already working as the elevator servo, and from here you're good to go with programming and everything. So once we got everything fired up, we went ahead and put the servo arm and connected the ball link to the servo. The servo fresh out of box is pretty much neutral, so now we need to program the center on the elevator. We're going to go ahead and change the increments to 10 clicks and currently just adjust it until we get the center. I'm pretty much going to keep clicking on it. In this case, it's the negative, and we're just going to keep clicking on it until it's close to center. Once it's pretty close to center, it looks pretty centered over here, we're going to go ahead and hit set. You'll see success, and that means it saved the settings. From this point on, we're ready to start adjusting the increments. So while we were talking about adjusting neutral and travel, high and low, I also wanted to point out that you can control the increments to which they will move by adjusting the percentages over here. If you're really, really far from center, you could always go to 10% and make those adjustments really, really quick and get the servo closer. And once you get really, really close, you could always go down to 1% and start adjusting it from there with the positive or negative. The only key is make sure after you achieve the position which you wanted to, make sure to hit set, as that will save all the settings and you're good to move forward. So once we figured out neutral, we're going to go ahead and adjust the travel. So high is going to be up elevator in most cases. So we went ahead to full deflection, and we're going to shoot for 70mm throw. So we're going to go ahead and put the measure on it, and we're going to increase it. Hitting the positive and leaving it at 10% right now, just so we can get closer to the direction we want it to go. Alright, so that looks close enough. Yes, we called that good. So we're going to do the same thing on the down elevator, but first we're going to make sure we hit set. It says success, that means it saved the settings. So we're going to do the same thing on the down elevator. So we're going to go to travel on the low. We're going to hold full down deflection, and we're going to try to get as close as we can to 70mm. So we're going to hit increase a few times, and it looks like it's just about there. We're going to go ahead and hit set again. Now it says success, that means it saved all the settings. At this point on, now we're going to go ahead and put the model together and match both servos to make sure they're both working equally. Now that you know how to program neutral, travel adjustments and such on the servo via XBus, now you're going to go ahead and put the model together, match everything up, make sure elevators are both working equally, neutral is dead center, and stuff like that. You should be ready to go as far as the basic endpoints in neutral and travel.